everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, as you saw by what I wrote in the beginning of this, is a legitimate question, not a statement. Is the gambler chest still relevant? I'm looking to get one, and I've been seeing all kinds of different type of things written all over the place about this particular thing. Number one, people are missing stuff out of their gambler's chest, which could be just production. That's not Adam's fault. But they said that after waiting 7 years for this, it's not compatible. And I wondered, and I'd rather hear from you guys, because that, for me, will help me make a decision whether to go hunt one of these down. I'm willing to pay for it. There's no doubt about it. But unless it's, something that I'm not going to be overly confused with, I'd rather get all the skinny on it. Now, right now, and I don't trust anybody making videos on it. A few people I would, but you got a guy that's reeling, spinning out of control, and now they got their gambler's chest in, and they are making videos feverishly to try to turn their channel around. I don't know. Maybe this is the thing that kind of turns things around, for them. But let's be honest. I don't trust anything a lot of people say. I'd rather hear from you guys, the consumers, and because I really love Kingdom Death Monster, and after 7 long years, this thing has finally come out. I think it's more towards 8, to be honest with you. But this is something I didn't hunt down, and I know I'm going to pay ridiculous money. But if I'm going to pay ridiculous money, I need to know: is this compatible? Is it worth it at this point? Has Kingdom Death Monster, just kind of wore out its welcome after all these years? I don't think so. Because I'll be honest with you, it is one of those games. And it's a very rare game, because it's and if you notice in the beginning, I had to say, hey, listen, this is not a statement, I'm asking a question, and only you guys can answer, because their fans are feverish when it comes to this game and defending this game, and that's all fine. I love the passion. I think that's a fantastic thing to have for a particular game. But is the passion warranted? Are you going to overlook things? Are you going to put rose-colored glasses on? No, I'd rather get a consensus here in the comments, and hopefully, people point you in the right direction as to, okay, yeah, go get it. It's worth it. The models, the this, the that, and everything else. But I'm seeing a lot of things. Is it because people just love to hate on Adam? That's possible. That's possible. Mr. Poots, has made a few enemies over the years, but I think that is attributed to that mad genius thing. I've said this before in other videos. He's so brilliant, and he's rewritten and fixed things, and sometimes your own genius can backfire on you a little bit, and I think sometimes that happens to people. Maybe not in this occasion. This is a game that, when you really think about it, it's about the human condition, and people go, oh, well, it's so dark. Yeah, well, people are dark. Just look at the internet as it is today. So this game is very relevant, and it's a funny thing when the third edition, I think it's the third edition of Descent came out, and I was saying, well, it's just like playing on an app. You really don't need to, you're looking at the app more than you are, the table. And people threw their arms up, and this is going to be a classic, it's going to be here forever. Well, where are those people now? Because nobody's talking about that game. But you mentioned Kingdom Death Monster, people will always talk about that game. So what has legs? Kingdom Death Monster. It's an all-time great. You got games like Eon Trespass, okay? That has the potential to be along the lines of a Kingdom Death Monster. But when you really think about Kingdom Death Monster, it really is something that just stands out and is one of those unique cult games. So, you know, a lot of people have said, hey, it's gotten so confusing going from this, 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, so forth and so on. You know, do the changes make so much of a difference, and this, that, and the other? And now, does this gambler chest, is it still relevant with the game? Does it still fit? Or is it too little too late, after 8 years? How many people have gotten rid of their copies? Okay? And that's what I want to hear. How many of you are like, oh, I'm just beyond it. Has it outlived its life? I don't think so. Like I said, a lot of games, there are a ton of games that come out each year, and they come and they go, and they're forgotten about. This is a game that is never forgotten about. So, you have this thing, and it breathes some more life into this. I mean, I'm kind of, whoa, okay, this finally is out there. People are finally starting to get their hands on this. Okay, well, all right, let's put on the shoes and start digging. But I don't want to do anything until I hear from you, the consumer who has gotten this, who have broken it open, taken a look at it, put together some of the models, okay, that have really put in the time, and that are passionate about this game, because this game, you have to look at it on the level of how historic it is as far as board games are concerned. It has to be considered, up there as one of the all-time greats in a way, for its grouping, for its subject matter. If this was, Mickey Mouse and Flowers, I don't think it would have the standing power that it does. But I if it was less dark, it may even be one of those games that you never take out of the top 10, on Board Game Geek. But because of its nature, it brings out a different type of consumer. And there are certain people that will stay away from it because of how dark it is. And I think because human nature is so dark, that is one of the strengths of this game. It's not afraid to bridge certain gaps, to test people's mettle as far as group surroundings, bringing civilizations together. It really has this just very unique feel to it. And it is one of those all-time classics. And if I want to jumpstart and get back on this, I need, I'm just seeing a lot of hate, but I also see a lot of love. So I don't know which one to believe before I go spend a ton of money on this, okay? Because it's worth bringing onto the channel if it's worth, showcasing here. Okay, and it has to be worth it. If people are going to tell me, well, no, it's too little, too late, then we'll pass it by, and I'll live with the beauty, because I keep it right here. That's one of those games I keep close to me. There are a couple games that I keep real close on this bottom shelf here that are all-time greats, or where I can get my hands on them quickly when I want to pull them out, and that is one of those games. And I could just really use your help on this. I'm eager to hear what everyone thinks, and come up with my own decision, and then make my own move here. So I would really, really, really appreciate any kind of feedback that you have on it, and your thoughts and your feeling on this. 7 years is a long, long time. Some of you have kids, have had kids, and they're 7 years old, and maybe that game's sitting on the shelf going, yeah, okay, a lot's happened in 7 years. A lot has happened in 7 years. COVID has come and gone to a degree, but a lot of things have happened. A lot of time has passed. Is it still relevant? Does it still hold its place here? Okay, is this game a thing of the past to some people, and they've moved on? Or does this breathe life into things? I'm really looking to hear and get your thoughts on this, and excited to hear about it. Instead of looking at all the hype videos and stuff like that and people trying to get clicks and views, this is something that, for me, is a legitimate video asking some serious questions about this chest that has been talked about and has had its own life, a life of its own, and now it's finally here. Is it just over exaggerated, or is it the end all be all that some people claim it is? I look forward to hearing what you have to say, and until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody. Make sure you put it in the comments. We'll talk to you soon.